A very good morning everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be about something which is a little bit different from the recent videos which I have made. Personally, more than movies and web series, I prefer reading books and listening to stories. So, I will be speaking about one of my favorite stories of Tagore, Kabuliwala. It is a quite popular one and all of us have heard about the story at least once, even not read it. Kabuliwala opens with the narrator describing his 5-year-old daughter Minnie, who, being a talkative little kid, could not stop talking even for a minute. And as a result, she used to get scolded by her mother for this a lot. On the other hand, the narrator, who's Minnie's father, felt it quite unusual if Minnie was quiet. So he used to spend a lot of time talking to her and answering some of her innumerable questions. Then one fine morning, Minnie was busy chatting with her father and doing something or the other while he was busy working on the 17th chapter of his new adventurous novel that he was writing and could not pay that much attention to his daughter. Then suddenly, Minnie looked out of the window and spotted a Kabuliwala, whose name was Rahmat, and started calling him. However, after a few minutes, when the Kabuliwala actually showed up at their house, Minnie ran into another room, convinced that the large bag that the Kabuliwala carried contained little kids. She believed that he used to kidnap those kids who were not good and take them away with him. This is something which is told to all kids, all notorious kids in India, that if you don't do this, if you don't do that, someone will come and take them away and take you away with them. So this is a fear I think all of us should be known to. We all have faced this situation in our childhood. However, as the story proceeds, a few days later, to the narrator's surprise, he finds that his daughter Minnie, who was so afraid of the Kabuliwala, was actually sitting next to him and chatting with him, with a pile of raisins and nuts in her laps, which was probably a gift from Kabuliwala to little Minnie. We see that Rahmat the Kabuliwala used to visit Minnie's house every day. They used to sit by the door and sit and gossip for hours and laugh about everything possible. So Minnie had got the best companion who would listen to her and talk with her as much as she wanted to. Of the numerous jokes that Rahmat and Minnie made, the one that started with Rahmat telling Minnie to never to go to her in-laws' house. Now little Minnie, who did not understand what he meant by that, would burst off laughing. With the story proceeding further, we see that finally autumn arrives and Rahmat is now preparing to go back to his home country, Kabul. Part of his preparations included to go around Calcutta and collect all the money from the customers that owed him. But despite his busy schedule, he still did make a little bit of time to come and chat with Minnie. But one fine morning, a dispute happened. The narrator, that is Minnie's father, heard something on going onto the streets and looked out of the window to see Rahmat, covered in blood, being arrested by the police. The narrator ran down and all he collected from there was that Rahmat got into a physical fight with a customer who owed him money, and during the fight, he stabbed the customer. With that, Rahmat is being sent to jail. Now, with Rahmat gone, it did not take Minnie a long time to forget Rahmat and find new friends. Then, after a few years, one day, when the narrator and his wife were preparing for Minnie's wedding day, someone unexpected visits them. It was Rahmat, who just got released from the jail. The narrator was in a situation then which he had never been before. So busy, so frustrated from all this workload and tension about his daughter's marriage, that he did not want Rahmat to be there. He requested Rahmat to leave, but Rahmat, being steady on his decision, did not want to leave without seeing Minnie for even once. The narrator tried to tell him that Minnie was busy and could not come and meet him now. But Rahmat did not want to leave. He was convinced that Minnie was still the same little girl with whom he used to laugh and talk a few years back, and would immediately recognize him and start gossiping with him again. But little did he know that Minnie was a grown-up woman now and had absolute no memory left of him and would barely recognize him. It was then that Rahmat pulled out a crumpled piece of paper out of his breast pocket of his shirt and showed the narrator the paper. It contained the handprints of his little daughter Parvati, which he carried whenever he used to travel. Seeing Minnie reminded Rahmat of his daughter, and that's why he loved Minnie this much. Seeing this piece of paper, the narrator's fatherly feelings worked, and he forgot that Rahmat was an Afghan Kabuliwala, a nuts and pistachio seller. He immediately called for Minnie, who was already prepared for her big day by then. Minnie came, and she was unable to recognize the Kabuliwala, Rahmat, his old friend, and went back. That's when Rahmat realized that his daughter Parvati would also not be a little kid anymore, and by the time he will reach home, she will be a grown-up woman too. The story ends with Minnie's father providing Rahmat some money to return back to Afghanistan, to his family, to his daughter, saying that giving Rahmat money means that Minnie's wedding party may not be as grand as it could be, but her father is happy with it, believing the ceremony was lit by a more kinder gift, more grateful gift ever possible. So at the end we see that Kabuliwala is all about the love fathers have for their daughters and the heartbreak of seeing them grow up and leave the parental home after marriage. That was all about today's video. Hope you guys liked it. See you in the next one. Thank you.